What if the pain in your joints wasn't just a sign of aging but a warning signal your body has been trying to send you for years? What if the real culprit behind your arthritis wasn't your genes or your weight, but something sitting quietly in your kitchen right now? And what if the solution didn't come in the form of another expensive medication but in 3 humble plant-based foods you've probably been ignoring? Hi, I'm Dr. Nana, and today on Senior Health Boost, we're diving deep into a groundbreaking discovery that could change the way you think about joint pain, inflammation, and aging. Main script rewrite begins. Picture this. You wake up tomorrow morning. As you swing your legs over the side of the bed, a sharp pain jolts through your knees like a bolt of electricity. Your fingers are so stiff you can barely grip the bottle of pills on your nightstand. Fear sets in. Is this how it's going to be from now on? Now, let me ask you something important. What if I told you that the real source of this relentless, life-altering pain has been right in front of you all along? That something you eat every day, something you thought was harmless, is quietly fueling the fire of inflammation inside your joints, making things worse, day after day. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which plant-based proteins can help cool that inflammation, reduce your pain, and help you regain your mobility even if you've been suffering for years. Right now, as you listen to this, your joints may be inflaming. It sounds scary, but it's true. This pain, this stiffness, it's not just getting older. After the age of 40, your body ramps up its inflammatory response, but it does it silently. No sirens, no flashing lights. Just a slow, creeping increase in symptoms that gets harder to ignore over time. This condition is called chronic inflammation, and it's a silent thief stealing your independence, your comfort, and your ability to move freely, all while you may not even realize it's happening. Have you experienced any of these signs? Morning stiffness that lingers longer than 30 minutes, or tender joints, especially more than on a difficulty with simple tasks like buttoning a shirt or holding a cup. Joint pain that worsens with activity instead of getting better. If you nodded to any of those, it's time to stop brushing it off as normal aging. Because it's not. These are the early and sometimes late signs of an inflammatory joint condition that affects millions. And unfortunately, it's one that conventional medicine doesn't always address at its root. Thankfully, that's beginning to change. The Arthritis Foundation now openly recognizes that diet plays a critical role in managing joint inflammation. Unlike painkillers that only mask the symptoms for a few hours, certain foods can actually help stop inflammation at the source. These aren't just theories, this is science in action. Inflammation works quietly, almost like a saboteur. It creeps into your joints and begins breaking down the tissues. And by the time you really start to notice the damage, it's often already done. But here's where it gets truly eye-opening. A landmark study from Harvard Medical School found that up to 60% of arthritis sufferers can experience a significant reduction in symptoms just by making targeted changes to their diet. And this is even if they're already on prescription medications. But there's a catch. Many people are still unknowingly eating foods that worsen inflammation every single day. These foods are marketed as healthy or at least harmless, but in reality, they're fueling your joint pain without you realizing it. If you or someone close to you is living with constant arthritis pain, this video could be a turning point. But before we go further, take a second to subscribe to Senior Health Boost and tap the notification bell. We share critical health tips like this every single week, advice that could protect your body, extend your independence, and help you live with less pain. And our next video might contain exactly the information you or a loved one desperately need. Now, let's talk about something far more hopeful. You've probably heard that arthritis can't be reversed, that once it starts, it's all downhill. But recent breakthroughs in medical research are challenging that belief, and fast. In one powerful clinical study, 78% of participants experienced dramatic pain relief within just 4 weeks by adjusting what they ate. No new meds, no injections, just food. And what kind of food are we talking about? Researchers have pinpointed specific plant-based proteins with remarkable inflammation-fighting properties, compounds that reduce swelling and stiffness even in people with advanced arthritis. Science is finally catching up to something holistic healers have known for decades. Food is powerful. In fact, it can sometimes succeed where medications fall short. And in the case of arthritis, certain foods don't just help, they can work hand in hand with your treatment plan to accelerate your healing. So here's the million-dollar question. What are these inflammation-fighting proteins? And how exactly do they work? Let's dive into the first of the 3 that every arthritis sufferer needs to know. And the second one? It's a total game changer, yet almost no one is talking about it. Get ready because we're about to reveal the top 3 plant-based proteins that can start turning the tide on your arthritis symptoms today. First up, a humble food that's probably already in your pantry but you had no idea it could be this powerful. Let's talk about lentils. In our last section, we uncovered a surprising truth: certain plant-based proteins can dramatically reduce joint pain by tackling inflammation at its root. Now, let's dive deeper into the first powerhouse protein that deserves a permanent place in your arthritis-fighting toolkit: lentils. Lentils are often overlooked in the modern American diet, but if you're struggling with arthritis, these tiny legumes might just become your body's best friend. Unlike many animal-based proteins which are known to spark inflammatory reactions, lentils provide the nutrients your joints need without fanning the flames of pain. You see, when we eat meat or dairy, especially red meat, the body processes these foods in ways that often create inflammatory byproducts. These byproducts then circulate through your bloodstream, aggravating sensitive tissues like the joints already weakened by arthritis. But lentils, they take a different path. According to Dr. Nana, plant-based proteins, like those found in lentils, are metabolized through alternate biochemical routes. This results in far fewer inflammatory compounds building up inside your system. That's a big win for your joints. As we age, our bodies rely more and more on high-quality protein to repair worn-out tissues. Damaged cartilage, weakened muscles, and fraying connective fibers all need help rebuilding. But here's the thing: not all protein is created equal. It's not just about getting enough protein, it's about getting the right kind. That's where lentils come in. By choosing lentils instead of beef or cheese, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs to repair and regenerate without the inflammatory price tag. That means stronger joints, fewer flare-ups, and better mobility over time. But the benefits of lentils go beyond just protein. One of their standout qualities is their magnesium content, a true unsung hero in joint health. Now, if you've ever felt like your joints are being squeezed from all sides, especially during flare-ups, there's a reason. When the muscles surrounding your joints contract and tighten due to pain or inflammation, they exert extra pressure on the joint space. That muscle tension only makes things worse. Here's where magnesium becomes a game changer. Magnesium is your body's natural muscle relaxant. It works behind the scenes, calming tense muscles and easing that locked-up feeling you get in the mornings or after prolonged activity. Sadly, most people don't even know they're deficient in it. In fact, studies suggest that up to 68% of arthritis patients may be low in magnesium. That's a staggering number, especially when this one mineral could be the key to reducing stiffness, calming nerve pain, and restoring a sense of physical ease. Think about it. How many times have you stretched in the morning, trying to shake off that awful stiffness, only to find your joints still stuck? If that sounds familiar, magnesium might be the missing puzzle piece. And lentils? They're one of the easiest, tastiest ways to get more of it naturally, no pills required. But there's more. Lentils also pack a punch when it comes to potassium, another overlooked nutrient with major anti-inflammatory benefits. While most people associate potassium with bananas, lentils actually contain even more potassium per serving, and unlike bananas, they won't spike your blood sugar. More on that in a moment. So, why is potassium so important for your joints? Because it helps your body flush out excess sodium. And as you might already know, too much sodium leads to water retention. When your body holds onto that extra water, it causes bloating, puffiness, and you guessed it, increased swelling around already inflamed joints. If you often feel like your fingers, knees, or ankles are swollen or tender to the touch, sodium could be a silent culprit. And the best way to combat that? Get more potassium. That's exactly what lentils deliver. By helping your body naturally eliminate sodium, potassium reduces swelling. And less swelling means less pressure. Less pressure means less pain. It really is that simple. But we're still not done with the lentil magic. Another major benefit? Blood sugar control. You might not realize it, but spikes in blood sugar can actually fuel inflammation. Here's how it works. When you eat a sugary snack or a high-carb meal, your blood glucose rises rapidly. In response, your body releases inflammatory chemicals, cytokines, that can aggravate your joints. Dr. Nana explains that for people with arthritis, these blood sugar fluctuations are like throwing gasoline on a fire. But lentils, they have an impressive fiber profile. This fiber slows down the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates, which means your blood sugar stays more stable. Instead of a sharp rise followed by a crash and the inflammation that comes with it, you get a more even, sustained release of energy. That's good for your joints, your energy levels, and your overall metabolic health. Plus, stable blood sugar helps you maintain a healthy weight, which is another huge factor in managing arthritis. Every extra pound adds stress to your joints. So by reducing inflammation and supporting weight management, lentils hit two major goals at once. And here's something that often gets ignored in arthritis conversations: folate, or vitamin B9. Folate plays a vital role in reducing levels of homocysteine, a naturally occurring amino acid, in the blood. High levels of homocysteine are directly linked to increased inflammation and, yes, more joint pain. Lentils are loaded with folate. Eating them regularly helps maintain healthy homocysteine levels, which in turn helps dial down systemic inflammation. It's one of those small nutritional tweaks that can add up to big relief over time. Now, you might be wondering, this all sounds great, but how do I actually eat more lentils? Good news, they're one of the most versatile, budget-friendly, and easy-to-cook foods on the planet. Don't consider yourself a great cook? No problem. Lentils are extremely forgiving in the kitchen. You can toss them into soups and stews, where they add texture, heartiness, and a rich nutty flavor. Or whip up a lentil curry using anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, garlic, and onion. Want something cold? Mix lentils into a Mediterranean salad with cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, red onions, and olive oil for a refreshing, nutrient-packed meal. Trying to eat less meat? Lentils are a perfect meat substitute in tacos, burritos, veggie patties, or even spaghetti sauce. Their flavor adapts beautifully to whatever herbs and spices you like: savory, spicy, or even slightly sweet. And the best part, unlike many other beans, lentils don't need to be soaked overnight. That makes them perfect for quick weekday meals. Just rinse them thoroughly, throw them into a pot with water or broth, bring to a boil, then simmer for 20–30 minutes until tender. They're easy to digest, packed with plant-based power, and when prepared right, absolutely delicious. As you can see, lentils are more than just a side dish. They're a strategic weapon in the battle against joint pain. But we're not stopping here. Coming up next, we'll reveal the second inflammation-fighting food, one that almost no one talks about, yet it has shown astonishing results in clinical research. Get ready, because this next one might surprise you even more than lentils. We just explored how lentils, humble yet powerful, can help rebuild your joints, reduce stiffness, and ease pain. Now, let's take that healing momentum one step further by introducing the second inflammation-fighting food, chickpeas, an underappreciated powerhouse in arthritis relief. Unlike some legumes that can leave you feeling bloated or uncomfortable, chickpeas are remarkably gentle on digestion. And when paired with other anti-inflammatory ingredients like fresh spinach, kale, turmeric, or even a splash of lemon juice, chickpeas form a nutritional alliance your joints will thank you for. These combos don't just taste great, they amplify each other's healing properties, creating a synergistic effect that calms inflammation and nurtures your body from within. If you're beginning to take arthritis management through diet seriously, start small. Even 1 or 2 chickpea-rich meals per week can lay the groundwork for lasting results. The key isn't perfection, it's consistency. The small shifts you make today can lead to major improvements in your comfort and mobility down the road. So, the next time you're at the grocery store, don't walk past the chickpeas. Whether canned, dried, or even roasted, grab a few varieties and start experimenting. You might be surprised how quickly your body responds. Now let's talk about what makes chickpeas so remarkable for arthritis sufferers. Like lentils, chickpeas are an excellent source of clean, plant-based protein. That matters more than you think, especially if you're cutting back on red meat due to its inflammatory effects. As Dr. Nana explains, when arthritis limits your mobility, your muscles begin to weaken, which in turn puts more pressure on already damaged joints. That's where chickpea protein shines. It delivers the essential amino acids your body needs to maintain and rebuild muscle, without triggering inflammation. Stronger muscles mean better joint support, better posture, and a reduced risk of injury from falls or strains. The more supported your joints are, the less they have to do alone and the less pain you'll feel. But what truly sets chickpeas apart isn't just their protein, it's their polyphenol content. Polyphenols are plant-based compounds with extraordinary antioxidant power. In plain English, they help your body fight off cellular damage caused by free radicals, those unstable molecules that can wreak havoc on your tissues and accelerate aging. In people with arthritis, this kind of oxidative stress is already higher than normal. Every time you eat chickpeas, you're flooding your system with these protective polyphenols. Think of it like armor helping your body fend off further damage while reducing the ongoing inflammation that causes stiffness, soreness, and swelling. Now here's something many people overlook. Chickpeas contain vitamin C, an essential nutrient for producing collagen. And collagen, as Dr. Nana emphasizes, is vital for healthy joints. It forms the cushioning layer between bones that allows them to glide smoothly when you move. Without enough collagen, that cushion wears thin, resulting in grinding, cracking, stiffness, and eventually, pain. So when you eat chickpeas, you're not just masking discomfort. You're helping your body rebuild joint tissue from the inside out. You're supporting long-term recovery, not just short-term relief. Let's not forget the power of magnesium either. Yes, chickpeas like lentils are a great source of this underestimated mineral. And when it comes to arthritis, magnesium does far more than most people realize. It relaxes tight muscles, soothes the nervous system, and even helps reinforce bone density. If you've ever felt like your joints were taking all the burden because the surrounding muscles wouldn't let go, magnesium may be the answer. It releases that built-up tension, bringing a sense of ease back into your body. And don't underestimate the value of that. It can mean better posture, better sleep, and fewer pain-triggering spasms. Speaking of sleep, magnesium also supports deep, restful rest, something many people with arthritis struggle to achieve. And good sleep isn't just a luxury, it's where real healing happens. Well-rested muscles and joints are more likely to recover, reset, and perform the next day without as much discomfort. Still not convinced? Here's another reason chickpeas deserve your attention: fiber. You might think of fiber as only helpful for digestion or weight loss, but it plays a surprisingly direct role in arthritis management. That's because fiber helps regulate blood sugar levels, and stable blood sugar equals lower inflammation. It's a simple but powerful chain reaction. When you eat sugary or refined foods, your blood sugar spikes. Your body responds by releasing inflammatory chemicals that make joint pain worse. But fiber-rich foods like chickpeas slow down sugar absorption. That leads to a smoother blood sugar curve: no spikes, no crashes, just sustained energy and reduced inflammation. And let's not forget, maintaining healthy blood sugar also supports weight control. Every pound of excess weight puts additional strain on your knees, hips, and lower back. So even a small shift like replacing white rice or bread with chickpeas could have a meaningful impact on your joint load. In summary, chickpeas deliver clean, anti-inflammatory protein-soul protecting polyphenols, vitamin C for joint cushioning, collagen, magnesium to relax muscles and strengthen bones, fiber to stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation, and they do all this without causing digestive issues or introducing added stress into your system. So how do you use them? The beauty of chickpeas lies in their versatility. You can roast them for a crispy snack, blend them into hummus, stir them into soups and stews, or even mash them into burger patties or tacos. Their mild flavor soaks up spices and herbs beautifully, from cumin to paprika to lemon zest. Not a fan of cooking? No problem. Keep canned chickpeas on hand. Just rinse and toss into your favorite salad or bowl. With virtually no prep, you've got a nutrient-dense, joint-loving meal at your fingertips. From rebuilding tissue to calming inflammation, chickpeas are truly one of the best-kept secrets in arthritis nutrition. But we're not done yet. Up next, I'll reveal the third and final plant-based protein that completes this trio of healing foods. It's one you've probably seen in health stores, but few realize its full potential for joint recovery. Stay with me. We've seen how chickpeas deliver powerful support for arthritis relief, from joint-protecting protein to inflammation-fighting polyphenols. Now, let's round out this healing trio with one of the most versatile and underrated plant-based proteins out there: tofu. Tofu might not be the first food that comes to mind when thinking about joint pain, but it absolutely deserves your attention. Some people love tofu right away. Others are unsure how to cook it. But no matter where you fall, if you're living with arthritis or supporting someone who is, tofu may be one of the most valuable tools in your dietary arsenal. Why? Because tofu checks every box. It's anti-inflammatory, protein-rich, easy to prepare, and packed with joint-nourishing compounds that can reduce pain and stiffness over time. Let's break it down. Tofu is made from soybeans, one of the few plant-based foods that provide what's known as a complete protein. That means tofu contains all 9 essential amino acids, the building blocks your body needs but can't make on its own. This is incredibly important, especially as you age. According to Dr. Nana, these amino acids help your body repair worn-out tissues, especially muscles and tendons that surround and stabilize your joints. Strong, resilient muscles can absorb more physical stress, which means your joints don't have to take the full hit with every step, squat, or movement. The result? Less pain, less strain, and more mobility. Animal proteins like red meat may offer similar amino acids, but they often come with inflammatory baggage, saturated fat, cholesterol, and compounds that can increase oxidative stress. Tofu delivers the protein without the inflammatory load. But tofu doesn't stop there. It also contains omega-3 fatty acids, healthy fats well known for supporting heart health, but just as critical for joint comfort. Omega-3s work like an internal fire extinguisher. They help shut down your body's inflammatory signals, especially the ones triggered by autoimmune reactions, chronic stress, or high-sugar diets. If you've been struggling with morning stiffness, swollen knuckles, or knees that throb after walking, omega-3s can help calm those symptoms at the root level. And while fish is a common source of omega-3s, not everyone eats seafood regularly. That's why plant-based sources like tofu are so important, especially for those who prefer vegetarian or low-cholesterol options. Another benefit? Tofu is surprisingly easy to digest. If you've ever had a heavy meal that left your body feeling sluggish or inflamed afterward, you know how hard some proteins can be on your system. Tofu, on the other hand, is gentle, making it an excellent option for people with digestive sensitivities or those managing multiple chronic conditions along with arthritis. Now let's talk about another powerhouse nutrient tofu brings to the table: calcium. Calcium isn't just for strong bones, it also plays a role in nerve signaling and muscle contraction, both of which influence your joint comfort and mobility. Many people with arthritis, especially older adults, don't get enough calcium from their diets. This leads to weaker bones, increased joint stress, and a higher risk of injury from falls or joint degradation. Tofu, made with calcium sulfate, is one of the best plant-based calcium sources out there. So with every serving, you're strengthening your skeletal foundation, helping your joints stay aligned, supported, and protected long-term. Let's not forget about iron either. Many arthritis sufferers experience fatigue, especially if chronic pain is disrupting sleep. Tofu offers a good source of non-heme iron, which helps transport oxygen throughout the body. That means more energy, better muscle performance, and less of that dragging, exhausted feeling that often accompanies flare-ups. So how do you eat tofu if you're new to it? That's where tofu really shines its adaptability. Tofu can be soft and creamy, perfect for blending into smoothies, soups, or even sauces. Or it can be firm and hearty, ideal for stir-fries, scrambles, or grilling. The beauty of tofu is that it absorbs whatever flavor you give it. Garlic, ginger, turmeric, lemon juice, tamari, whatever your taste, tofu plays along. One popular option? Slice firm tofu, marinate it in olive oil, lemon, and spices, then bake or air fry it until golden and crispy. Add it to a grain bowl with quinoa, steamed broccoli, and sweet potatoes, and you've got a joint-friendly meal packed with anti-inflammatory nutrients. Another favorite? Tofu scramble. It's like scrambled eggs, but plant-based, loaded with turmeric, black pepper, spinach, and red bell peppers. Delicious, filling, and completely arthritis supportive. Tofu also blends beautifully into curries, soups, or even healthy desserts like tofu-based puddings or protein-rich smoothies. And just like lentils and chickpeas, tofu is affordable and accessible. You don't need a specialty store. Most grocery stores carry multiple tofu varieties: soft, firm, extra firm, even pre-marinated. Choose what works for your recipes and comfort level. Even better, tofu has a long shelf life when refrigerated and unopened, making it easy to keep on hand for last-minute meals. Now, you might be wondering, how often should you eat tofu? That depends on your preferences, but 2 to 4 times a week is a great place to start. As with any nutritional habit, consistency is more important than quantity. Your joints, muscles, and immune system will benefit from that steady stream of inflammation-fighting nutrients, and over time, you may notice improvements not just in pain, but in flexibility, posture, and daily comfort. So there you have it, tofu, the third and final member of our arthritis-fighting protein trio. It's affordable, versatile, and scientifically backed to support your joints from the inside out. But our journey doesn't end here. Up next, we'll reveal how to combine these powerful foods into weekly meal strategies that maximize healing, minimize inflammation, and bring real relief into your daily life. Stay tuned. We've already seen how tofu delivers powerful protein, calcium, and omega-3s all without the inflammatory downsides of animal products. But what if you could maximize these benefits by combining tofu with your favorite anti-inflammatory meals throughout the week? Let's dive into how to put everything we've learned into action. While omega-3s are most commonly associated with fish like salmon or sardines, tofu stands out as one of the few plant-based sources of this crucial nutrient. That's especially important for people following vegetarian or vegan diets or for those avoiding seafood for health or personal reasons. According to Dr. Nana, these plant-derived omega-3s may not get as much attention, but they play a valuable role in calming inflammation and protecting joint tissue over time. Another overlooked benefit of tofu? Calcium. We usually associate calcium with milk or yogurt, but for many seniors, especially those with arthritis, dairy isn't always the best choice. Some people are lactose intolerant, while others find dairy worsens their inflammation or digestive discomfort. That's where tofu becomes even more valuable. Tofu made with calcium sulfate provides a generous calcium boost without the side effects. And for anyone managing osteoarthritis, bone health is just as critical as joint health. In fact, they go hand in hand. Your bones form the structural framework for your joints. If your bones are weak or brittle, your joints can't function properly, leading to instability, pain, and even greater wear and tear. By regularly eating calcium-rich tofu, you're helping your body maintain strong bones, which in turn gives your joints better support. But that's just part of the story. Tofu often contains added vitamin D, and that's where things get exciting. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption, but it also plays a major role in immune regulation and inflammation control. Unfortunately, many older adults are deficient in vitamin D and may not even realize it. Without enough vitamin D, the benefits of calcium drop significantly, and your immune system may misfire, contributing to ongoing inflammation in your joints. So when you choose tofu fortified with vitamin D, you're getting double the protection, bone support, and inflammation regulation in one affordable, convenient food. But there's another group of nutrients in tofu that deserve special attention: isoflavones. Isoflavones are natural compounds found in soy that function a bit like mild estrogens. Now, don't worry, this doesn't mean tofu disrupts your hormones. In fact, the science says the opposite. Dr. Nana explains that isoflavones actually help reduce inflammation, improve joint flexibility, and lower stiffness and pain, especially in people with rheumatoid arthritis. Studies on populations with diets rich in soy products, including tofu, show better joint mobility, fewer flare-ups, and an overall improvement in daily function. It's not a miracle cure, but it's a powerful piece of the puzzle for anyone seeking natural relief. Now let's address the most common question about tofu. Isn't it bland? Fair point. On its own, plain tofu doesn't have much flavor, but that's actually a huge advantage. Why? Because tofu is a flavor sponge. Whatever herbs, spices, or sauces you love, tofu absorbs them beautifully. Whether you enjoy garlic, ginger, lemon, soy sauce, chili flakes, or turmeric, you can season tofu to match your mood and taste. So how should you prepare it? If you're new to tofu, start with extra firm varieties. These are easiest to cook and hold their shape well. Begin by pressing out any excess water. Just wrap the tofu in a clean towel and place something heavy on top for 10–15 minutes. This helps it absorb marinades better and cook up crispier. Once pressed, you can bake it with olive oil and spices until golden. Stir-fry it with vegetables and anti-inflammatory ingredients like turmeric or black pepper. Grill tofu slices for a smoky flavor and firm texture. Simmer it in curry sauces for a creamy, comforting dish. Feeling adventurous? Tofu makes a delicious filling for wraps, a healthy topping for grain bowls, or a satisfying meat substitute in tacos. Prefer something smoother? Try silken tofu. This variety is softer and works great in blended recipes like smoothies, soups, or dairy-free desserts. Blend it into sauces, puddings, or even dips. You'll hardly taste it, but your body will feel the benefits. Want to reduce saturated fat in your meals? Use tofu as a cream substitute in recipes. It creates the same rich texture without the heaviness and adds valuable nutrients your joints will love. Here's another bonus. Tofu is easy on the wallet. You don't need to visit fancy health stores or spend a fortune. Most supermarkets carry multiple types of tofu, usually priced well below animal proteins. Buy a few packs, store them in the fridge, and you'll always have a quick, nutritious meal option on hand. So how often should you eat tofu? 2 or 3 times per week is a great start. You might even enjoy it daily, especially if you're rotating it with other proteins like lentils and chickpeas. The key is variety and consistency. These foods work best when eaten regularly, not just once in a while. When you build your meals around these plant-based proteins, you're giving your body the tools it needs to heal, stabilize, and strengthen. That means less inflammation, better mobility, and fewer days spent battling pain. Tofu isn't fancy or exotic, but it's one of the most powerful foods you can add to your plate if you're serious about joint health. Coming up next, we'll show you how to take everything you've learned: lentils, chickpeas, tofu, and build simple weekly meal plans that fit your lifestyle, your budget, and your taste. Get ready to transform your kitchen into your personal arthritis recovery center. Now that you know how powerful tofu can be when it comes to reducing arthritis symptoms and supporting joint health, let's pull it all together and talk about what this looks like in your everyday life. Tofu isn't fancy. It doesn't require a lot of money or a personal chef. It doesn't come in a flashy bottle or require a prescription. But here's what it does. It delivers results. Most grocery stores carry multiple types of tofu from silken to extra firm, and once you understand a few simple cooking techniques, you'll be amazed how quickly it becomes a go-to ingredient in your kitchen. It blends into your lifestyle with ease. Bake it, stir-fry it, grill it, or blend it into sauces. With each bite, you're giving your body nutrients that actively support healing, not just cover up the pain. Another bonus? Tofu stores well. If you purchase it sealed and refrigerated, it has a long shelf life, perfect for meal prepping or stocking your fridge with affordable protein that's always ready when you are. Now, how often should you eat it? If you're comfortable with soy and don't have any allergies, twice a week is a great place to start. From there, you can build more meals around tofu, rotating it with other anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, kale, quinoa, sweet potatoes, and brown rice. These combinations create synergy nutrients that work together to rebuild your joints, reduce inflammation, and stabilize energy levels. You don't need complicated diets or rigid food rules. You just need a few simple habits that add up over time. The magic is in consistency, not perfection. And that's the part many people forget. Living with arthritis can feel overwhelming. The stiffness that never seems to go away. The limitations that slowly creep in, until even simple activities, buttoning a shirt, opening a jar, walking to the mailbox, become frustrating. You may have asked yourself, is this just how it's going to be from now on? But here's the empowering truth. You have more control than you think. Every small choice matters. Every meal is an opportunity to nourish your body and support healing from within. When you regularly include tofu alongside lentils and chickpeas, you're not just eating. You're rebuilding. You're reclaiming strength, movement, and confidence. These 3 plant-based proteins offer concentrated healing power. Lentils, with their rich magnesium and potassium content, help reduce joint swelling and support muscle relaxation. Chickpeas, with polyphenols and vitamin C, help preserve joint cushioning and fight oxidative damage. Tofu, with complete protein, omega-3s, calcium, and isoflavones, delivers a full-body defense system for your bones and joints. Together, they form a natural anti-inflammatory toolkit you can access from your kitchen, not your medicine cabinet. And no, you don't need expensive supplements or complicated protocols. You just need real food, eaten regularly, prepared simply, and chosen intentionally. Start small. This week, add lentils to your soup. Try a chickpea salad with olive oil and lemon. Stir-fry tofu with turmeric and garlic. Track how your joints feel after 3 or 4 days. Notice how your mornings feel. See how your energy changes. Listen to your body. Because when it comes to managing arthritis, it's the small, sustainable shifts that matter most. And let's be honest, waiting for the pain to get worse is never the right plan. Too many people wait until their joints are nearly frozen, their mobility limited, and their independence threatened. They wait until walking becomes a chore, until stairs feel impossible, until medications lose effectiveness. But you don't have to be one of them. You don't have to wait for things to fall apart before you take action. You can start today with food. Food that fights inflammation. Food that rebuilds tissue. Food that helps you take back your mobility and your peace of mind. According to Dr. Nana, nutrition is one of the most underutilized, yet most effective strategies we have for arthritis care. And yet, it's accessible to nearly everyone. You don't need insurance approval. You don't need a fancy specialist. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to take that first step and then keep walking. So let's recap. If you're living with arthritis, here are the 3 most powerful plant-based proteins you can start using immediately. 1. Lentils for magnesium, potassium, and blood sugar regulation. 2. Chickpeas for polyphenols, vitamin C, and fiber. 3. Tofu for complete protein, calcium, omega-3s, and isoflavones. These foods are inexpensive, available in every grocery store, and easy to prepare. And when consumed regularly, they can transform your joint health from the inside out. Yes, medication can be helpful, but if you're relying on pills alone while ignoring your nutrition, you're missing one of the most powerful tools in your toolbox. Food doesn't just fuel you, it shapes your future. So don't wait. The sooner you begin, the sooner your body can start to heal. Even a single meal can begin to shift your inflammation levels. A single ingredient swap: lentils instead of pasta, tofu instead of meat, chickpeas instead of chips can push you toward a healthier, more mobile tomorrow. These aren't just dietary tips, they're invitations to take back control. You deserve more good days, more pain-free mornings, more time spent doing what you love, not stuck on the sidelines. If this video inspired you, if you believe food can be part of your healing journey, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button to help us share this message with others who are struggling with arthritis. Subscribe to Senior Health Boost and turn on notifications so you never miss future episodes packed with actionable health wisdom. And in the comments below, tell us, which of the 3 plant-based proteins will you try first? Lentils, chickpeas, or tofu? We read every single comment, and your story might be just what someone else needs to take their first step. Remember, healing doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it starts with what's already in your pantry. From all of us here at Senior Health Boost, thank you for watching. Take care of your joints, take care of your health, and we'll see you in the next video.